Greeting, everybody. This is Dr. Marcus Robinson, your clinical hypnotherapist and integrative wellness practitioner. And I'm here with you tonight with our third installment of Infoceuticals, that information and insight that can help you heal, can help you repair so that you can live better, healthier, longer. So we talked about in the last two episodes about the powers of the earth and our solar system that gave rise to life as we know it in the universe, really, and that life has evolved into what you now see yourself, as a human being, from a single cell creation billions of years ago now to you, the most complicated, most complex being on the planet at 100 trillion cells per individual. And so that's quite the evolutionary path. And I like to say that the human body was intelligently designed to resist entropy, to reverse entropy, and actually hold its own over time. What is that saying? That's saying that there's an aspect of being human that is akin to being immortal. What do I mean by that? The everything in the universe falls apart, decays, or loses its heat. That's called entropy. And living things like you and I are the only thing in the universe that we know that, left to its own devices, generates its own energy, its own heat. You hear that? Does not dissipate the heat over time. You hear that? So it negates entropy, and in fact increases its energy when properly nourished and supported, which means that it can reverse entropy. So one way to think about health and wellness is that when you're healthy and you're vibrant and you're feeling like you're on top of the world, that is because your body, your being, your biofield is doing exactly what it was designed to do, which is to resist entropy and to stand as negative entropy in the face of all of the things losing their heat and power. And you are growing with every meal, with every activity, your ability to create more energy. So now you're reversing entropy, which could mean, in biological terms, reversing illness. Because let's call illness, health being everything's working fine, neg entropy. Illness is when some part of your body, your heart, your brain, your arm, your leg, your gut, is succumbing to entropy. It is not cohering and functioning properly. It is in fact caught in a entropic cycle of decline. Now that might be a very technical way, a quantum biological technical way of talking about illness, sickness, and aging. This is when entropy actually takes hold of the whole organism, or like I'm wearing glasses, so some part of my visual apparatus has experienced some level of entropy. It's gotten worse, right? So I use glasses to correct for that, right? And the same is true with bodily functions as well. So what am I really trying to say? When you can interpret yourself as a bioenergetic being, and this thing that you live in as a biofield of energy and information that is a converging, overlapping, cohering set of sounds, electromagnetic waves, electrical waves, light rays, everything, all this stuff is overlapping into this holographic piece that looks like you, right? And when you can rock that, and then you decide you're not going to nurture this so that it can be the very best that it can be, then you want to make sure it's getting the right amount of earth nutrition, which is to say good, leafy green, colorful, dark, wonderful foods filled with MCTs, proteins, those good fats, and the kind of carbohydrates that will help you thrive. And when you can't get that, you'll get the nutraceutical, targeted nutraceuticals that can help you do what you need to do in order to get the fullness of the earth. And then you need the fullness of water, because we talked about the water. The water, which they say, you're mostly 70, 80% water. But if when you think about water as a molecule, H2O, and then you kind of all other water molecules in your body. and then you count up all of the other molecules that there may be in your body, what you find out is that you're 99% water molecules or some crazy number like that. You're vastly mostly water. Now, why am I so excited about that? Because water is the medium of the processes of life. Water is the substrate of life. Water, and it's not just H2O, it's how H2O connects up with other water molecules and creates a structure we call structured water, where the hydrogens connect and the oxygens connect in a kind of crisscross lattice kind of pattern, and it creates structure. That structure feels like gel. That's why if I cut my hand here, just say I did, and I hold it down, all the water in my arm wouldn't drip out, because it's a gel. It's like Jello. It's what a muscle feels like. And so that's a little more than you can probably handle right now, but I'll leave that there to say that water, that structured water, is the substance of your cells, and that is where life happens. And when you've got good structured water, and you got the basis for a great nucleus functioning, which is a factory that really churns out all of the things you need for life, and has all the instructions for what to do with all the information it's getting from everywhere with life. And so when you get that, and your mitochondria is doing great, now you are set to thrive. Now, so you're set to thrive. So what am I getting here? The electrics in your body help structure the water. The minerals in your body help conduct the electricity, the electron flow, the proton flows that you need in order to conduct life. And then the nutrients that you take in are the raw materials that your body uses to make proteins. And when that protein gets in there with the electrics and the water, it structures it, it makes healthy cells, and those healthy cells are kept that way by keeping in touch with so we got water, we got earth, we got fire, we got the heat. Your body needs to stay in a certain temperature range, and there's no question about that. And that heat temperature range actually helps with the gel factor of your water, with the structure in the water. So it's super, super important that you maintain a good temperature, not too low, not too high, Goldilocks zone. Same as with the air. Oh my God. Oxygen is an amazing thing. If you are oxygenated at the highest levels possible, there are hardly any microbe that's going to do you harm. Couldn't stay in that kitchen. Okay, could not stay in your body. So you put oxygen up against any of those microbes that they say cause you problems and whatnot. I don't believe in the germ theory, but nonetheless, if you do, they can't thrive in that space. Cancer can't thrive with oxygen. You put oxygen on a cancer cell, it's going to die. Simple as that. So the more oxygen you get into your body, the better. So, and oxygen, out of the air principle comes prana, comes chi, comes ki. Now you may say, oh, now he's in that woo-woo thing, but you've never seen a martial artist or anybody really push hard without letting go some sound and some energy. That sound, that air, that's all key. That's energy they're focusing. That's not just making sound and trying to sound ferocious. That's generating something here. It's generating chi from breathing it in and now focusing it. So we'll talk about it in another conversation, because you can focus your chi on the thing that is ailing you, and your chi will heal it. Bioenergetic healing is real. And how do we know that? Because we get it from the frequencies of light, the red lights, the full spectrum of sunlight, the sounds. Man, there's so many healing sounds in nature. You can go outside and get out in nature and heal yourself. Go lay up next to the ocean and listen to those waves hit. I guarantee you, your biorhythms will settle down. Your breath will settle down right in concert with the earth. And there you reconnect to your source of life. And as you lay on the beach, or you play in the beach water, you're getting the electron energy coming up from the earth, and you're getting the Schumann resonance of electromagnetic rays that are coming through from the sun. All at once. These are the 5 elements that you need. When you have them, in large supply, in abundant supply, then your body's able to repair what it needs to repair, heal what it needs to heal, regenerate what it needs to regenerate, and support the processing of what it needs to do in a fundamentally sound way. And there lies the whole scope of bioenergetic healing and so-called quantum healing. So now when we get you to a place where your head's in the right spot, where you can think these thoughts and then begin to behave in these ways, which is to get the nutrients, get the activity, get outside, get some sun, do what you need to do, you're gonna live better, healthier, and potentially longer, and certainly have a longer health span. That's no question in my mind. That has been my experience, and I hope it is yours. Like I say, I don't mean to be making any diagnoses or anything like that. This is not medical advice. This is lifestyle advice. This is how you live good and live well into your future.